Alright. Let's go ahead and post the room. And my fan is being normal, and I am hoping that my audio is being normal, but we can't always get what we want, do we? So if this is your first time here, hello, my name is Shiro. What I usually do on this specific live stream, the color challenge, is that I will randomly pick 3 colors. Literally, I go to a website called Koolors, Coolors. I roll a d20 and then I will hit the randomizer the amount of time the d20 gives me. And using those colors, I will be drawing 4 requests picked by the Wheel of Morality. Of course, sometimes I have to vet the requests because they are very obviously more than requests, if you get what I mean. It is very, very tiresome. I'm hoping I sound good on YouTube. If I don't, go to Twitch. Apparently I sound great on Twitch. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. I may have an inkling. But the issue from last week was on YouTube, apparently. Also, fair warning, I might close the live stream early depending on how I feel. Because since last weekend, I have been struggling with my vision. I have to focus really hard to see clearly. I have an appointment with my eye specialist on the 20th, so we just gotta wait for that. It's just that I'm trying to put everything in like dark mode, or at least grayscale, or at least gray mode, so there's nothing really bright staring at me right in the retinas. I'm gonna go ahead and start with telling you what the colors are for this month. Surprisingly enough, there is no orange, purple. There will be some black, but black is a color I'm allowed to use. I'm just gonna take one layer off. If Twitch is listening, I'm just taking a house coat off. I have a pajama set under it. I'm back. I realized I forgot to turn off my switch on my TV. Bah! Sorry, I'm very burpy. I ate like super fast again. So before we start, I actually got a scammer on the DeviantArt, like front page, and they just scrubbed their existence. But I got screenshots. So here we go. They're saying, "OMG, this is a really beautiful artwork. I have a client who would be interested in this masterpiece. The masterpiece in question is that Eris that I drew for the RPG Watercolor Challenge, and she's got like a 5 heads and the eyes of a pug. Because I had a stomachache while I was drawing her, I drew her all crooked. Well, in fact, we got a camera. Like, guys, she looked like this. Look at that. Look at that spread out face. And I was struggling to see with Red 13, and Red 13 came out better than Eris. So now we know I can draw when I can't see, but I can't draw when I got a stomachache. And she continues, it can also be displayed in the art gallery with your signature on it. Oh! Displayed in an art gallery with my signature on it. Thank you! Is the artwork up for sale, please? You guys just saw the scale of the masterpiece, right? And I replied, wow, out in the open for everyone to see, huh? And then she goes, I will chat you up so we can get to discuss about it well, okay? Check your DMs. And of course she hits me up in my DMs. And all I say in the DMs is, are you familiar with any video game? Like, at all? And what I tell her in public is, chat me up with the stolen photos of Akian Kramarek in your account. Feel free. And they scrubbed their comments, they deleted their comments, and they blocked me. Like, dude! It's always the fan art, too. Like, it would maybe be believable if they actually use an original piece, and I have original pieces. But no. They always go for the fan art. And it's never the good ones, either. So, speaking of train wrecks, let's see what colors we have today. We're going to start, of course, with the hex codes, and it's going to be a little touchy, and you'll soon see why. Okay, the first color is E5059 straw, BDD358 yellow green, and the third color that I ended up with was white. So of course the code FFFFFF. But I'm already technically using white, and like my support, my base is white, and I'm on whenever I need some shine, I am using a white Posca. White is like a default color. So I decided for something else for the third color. I put in some artistic input because I did not feel like it was fair if I was going to re-randomize the colors. So you'll see very soon. And this time, because I actually had colors that matched, I am using my Olo markers for this one. Now, I love my Ohuhus. I adore my Ohuhus. But there is something really nice that I like, that I love, I should say. I'm allowed to love multiple. I mean, my Olo markers are like super juicy. Like, they got a decent nib. I like the nib. But I love how juicy they are because the ink, it's an ink cartridge in here. It's not an ink pad like regular alcohol markers. This is loose ink in there. This is liquid. This is juice. And Lord knows, these markers are juicy without necessarily being spilly. So the colors we have to match these, I do believe is, what? Am I in the frame? I am in the frame. Okay. You know what? We're going to go like this. Y1.2 light yellow, YG 2.5 avocado. Those of you that follow my art will notice that these two colors are usually used when I draw Erdwin, the dragon on a quest. And depending if they feel like working, Molotov, a brand that I am not having a lot of luck with. Liquid Chrome 20 years edition, because I decided instead of white I will be using silver. So if the Liquid Chrome works, yay. I tested it a couple times. It doesn't really want to work. And I've been shaking it and I've been pumping it. It wants nothing to do with me, so I might even have to throw it out. But I also have a one-for-all acrylic silver pen. And to my personal taste, I find that this silver is kind of dull. All the metallics from this set are kind of dull to me. The Liquid Chrome is much shinier, but like I said, it doesn't feel like working. At the age it's got, I'm not really surprised, but at the same time, I got a gold one from another brand. Come on, no. That's been in the like it's literally a family heirloom at this point, and it's still working. So what's probably gonna happen is I'm gonna use this one. But anyway, we're having silver. We got a yellow, a green, and a silver today, and that's what we're going to use for our prompts. So we are going to bring the real star of the stream, the Wheel of Morality. A lot less prompts this month, but that's okay. Plus, like I said, I had to vet a couple because after a while they're, dude, it's a fetish. Oh, it's still on reset. I don't want you to reset, I want you to spin. Bah! Ay, ay, ay. So, who is our first prompt? Wheel of Morality. Turn, turn, turn. Tell us a lesson that we shall learn. We're starting strong with Stan Lee. What a great time to have some silver in the in the color set. All right. Hide slice. And my reference photos. Ah, there you are. Of course, I'm going to simplify him because, once again, lest we forget, I have vision issues right now. I'm not blind. Nothing is blurry. Nothing is milky. I'm just struggling a bit more to focus. And that's why I adulted right away. I got an appointment with my eye specialist. And I probably just need better glasses because mine are 20 years old. And I am not 20 years old. I haven't been 20 years old for a while. So what is probably happening to me is normal aging. Ooh, I just got a whiff of the chrome because I tried it again a bit more on the back of an old card. Woo! Paint. It's a hell of a drug. Don't do drugs. You know, I always like when people caricature Stan Lee and they do those spikes. Where his hair spikes, I should say. Of course, his hair spikes because of his glasses, but it's still cool. It's a cool effect. I should know my hair does the same thing when I got my glasses on. You know, there's one story I like. It's not even a Stan Lee story. It's a Kirby story. When, like, depending on who tells the story, because when I originally heard the story, it was 4 evil people, because I can't use the real word on YouTube or Twitch. But recently, when I reread the story, it came up to 6. So, yeah. And they called him up and told him to get downstairs because they were going to beat him up. And there were 4 or 6 of them. Either way, you know, that's a lot of people. And the first thing Kirby said was like, "Alright, I'm coming." And he left his office, rolled up his sleeve, went downstairs, and they were gone. I like that story for some reason. You know, I said I wasn't going to do him too realistic, but like I wanted him to look at least a little bit caricatured. I think I did good. It's simplified, but it's still kind of realistic. I might want to shrink his earlobes a little bit, though. I think I went a little too crazy on the earlobes. Like I said, guys, I can't see as well as I usually do. So... Oh, that's way better. So there's probably going to be a lot of that. There's probably going to be a lot of me stopping and going, whoops. appointment that he could give me, and it's still like at the end, near the end of the month. So, oh, it's going to be so fun trying to work in these conditions. I'm gonna move my, there we go. Speaking of Stan Lee, I don't know if they premiered it yet, or if there was too much fan backlash, because, like, I kind of get my information piecemeal. They wanted to premiere an AI version of Stan Lee for people to interact with and take pictures, and dude, Quest Stan Lee is basically a product now. Because, of course, yeah, I don't know if it's Marvel themselves that decided to do that, or Disney. Though my money is on Disney. But, like, the man is dead, and they're going to make fans pay talk to a hologram of him. That's kind of ghoulish, isn't it? Like, it's one thing to draw him, but like to essentially string him up, to puppet him and puppet his corpse for more money out of him. Plus knowing that he was a victim of elder abuse on top of that. I'm gonna let him dry. then we'll go for the second prompt right away. Honey, wiggle you down here. There we go. Wheel of morality, turn, turn, turn. Tell us a lesson that we shall learn. Donut Homer. That's going to be easier, actually. I am Donut Homer. I am Donut Homer. And for those that say, well, actually, I know it's Evil Homer that sings that specific song. But you have to explain to the well actuallys because they do not understand humor. But before then, let's have a sip. Because it's important to stay hydrated. Just gonna check something real quick. That's because instead of Fidica, I'm trying out Linktree's plan that to cross-post some posts, and for some reason there's always, like 99% of the time, there's always a delay when I schedule a post to Facebook. The other three, Instagram, Threads, and LinkedIn, no problem. They post at the time they're supposed to post. For some reason, there's always a delay with Facebook. I'm trying not plan that because I stopped my subscription to Fidica. But apparently, my subscription to Fidica was what let me post, cross-post videos to TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. When I stopped paying, they stopped allowing cross-post videos. So that's why I'm trying and playing that, because I'm actually paying for my Linktree. And my Linktree is a reasonable price, and I actually use it like every freaking day. So I'm trying out their other services too. The other end. The worst part is I'm pretty sure I drew Donut Homer before.
I'm looking forward to getting more lids for my Artmatic pencil. It's not that I don't like this one. My Artmatic pencil, I customized it so it was super comfortable for me. Plus it was a special edition. The Alvin company doesn't exist anymore. Art Snacks is shutting down. And it didn't come as a surprise to me. Like, the minute I saw on King Arts that they had purchased the license to Plumchester, I was like, oh, here we go. Yeah, I talk about art news like I talk about soap operas. Plus, not happy with that. Stuart Semple is making a collaborative acrylic paint set with Liquitex. And you guys know, I worship Liquitex, okay? Liquitex, if you're hearing this, I'm up for a collab. I'm up for sponsor me. Liquitex, I love you dearly. I don't have a firstborn to offer to you, but I do have a Maltese. Liquitex, call me. And I also love the Culture Hustle special supplies. Like, I have a decent collection of pigments. I got a bit of Black 4.0. I got some Blink. I got some Wink. Donut Homer kind of looks like how I draw Stewie. Oh, almost forgot. Matt Groening. However it's pronounced. Matt himself is like, how do you pronounce it? Greening or groaning? And he's like, yes. So. Sometimes with certain words, I will mispronounce them on purpose. It will depend either how I learned the word, or if I'm trying to remember how it's spelled. But it's mostly to try to remember how it's spelled. You guys remember this episode of Treehouse of Horror? Like, I can clearly remember the noise it made when he plucks some donut flesh off his head. But I'm so sweet and tasty. Yeah, I'm not even gonna try. Like, I'm decent at some impressions. Homer's not one of mine. I'm not even gonna try Marge. Let Homer dry and get back to our Lord and Savior, Stanley. I'm gonna use my malleable eraser again. I should consider getting a new one. Like, this guy is from Zellers. And I'm not talking Zellers when it was closing down after 3 name changes. Like, I have this box of art supplies, okay? And we're not talking, like, cheap art supplies. It's a kit of Brunzil. Top, it's a wooden box. Top layer is pastel pencils. Bottom layer is watercolor pencils. There's also some graphite pencils and some charcoals that I have never touched because, honestly, I'm left-handed, people. Not a good idea. And, like, I still have. This is the box to the sharpener that came in it. I'm still using it. I haven't changed the blades. I probably should, but it doesn't eat pencils like when my brand that I will not say out loud sharpener started eating them. My pencils, that's when it was time to change the blades. I haven't changed the blades on the Brunzil sharpener yet. And this malleable eraser was in it. It came from Zellers, from the Zellers catalog. It was worth $200 in today's money, way more. And Mom got it with her Zellers point, or Z points. Or as we say in Canada, her Z points. C'est point Z. So yeah, my stuff is old. Yeah, I'm gonna go with you right away because the chrome is not behaving. See, it's metallic, but it's like matte metallic. I've seen shinier, okay? I've owned shinier. But right now my shinier doesn't want to work. What I should do is get the silver version of the gold pen I was talking about earlier, because now that shines. Like, the best shine ever would be to gild it with a silver leaf. But I would probably want to do it on a bigger surface. Oh, that's cute. would be cuter and there we go. You guys can't see it. Well, maybe it's not that matte. Hang on. There we go. That's what it looks like. So maybe it is shinier than I thought it was. Yo, we can't see shit. Don't add the other colors. What I think I'm going to do is add the colors to his suit and his glasses, but not put any color on his skin. See what I said earlier about little markers being like really juicy? Of course, you don't always want juicy with your markers. Sometimes you can keep some semi-dry ones around for some special effects. You know what? So it sticks out better. I'm going to do the background with the yellow. You know, that's not a bad Stan Lee. Is this my first time drawing Stan Lee? I think so. You know what? I think he looks pretty good. And it's a good lesson in simplifying, which you can also use if you're the type to do caricatures or want to do caricatures. It's all in the observation. You have to key in on some details and exaggerate them. Like, for example, in my reference, Stan has his eyes open, but he also had, at least at that point in his life, really squinty eyes. So they look closed, but it's an exaggeration of what he looked like, you know? He's still recognizable even if his eyes are closed. Jughead style, you know? Are you kidding me? There we go. And the shine in his glasses, and there we go. We almost have. I just want to sign. There we go, we have Stan Lee. A shiny, shiny Stan Lee. He's pretty cute. I like to think I did a good job. Back to Donut Homer. Back to Donut Homer. I'm gonna have that in my head for frickin' ever. Maybe that's something I should. I have another one. I know I have another one somewhere. See? I should open this one and replace this one. It's not like I have a Faber-Castell one. Holy jeez. I should replace it when I'm done. I mean, it's just a malleable eraser. I still got the $200 wooden box with all the supplies in it. Ugh, I do not like erasing like that with a malleable eraser. I prefer tapping and rolling. You absolutely can rub. I just don't like it. It is not illegal to rub with it, but I'm doing it so that I don't lift the ink too much. I knew I forgot something. I didn't put up my sign. Just gotta... There. I don't need to put any color here. It's a white shirt. Yeah, there it is. Like, even if I put myself in Do Not Disturb, and I know I did, I do have it set so Mom can communicate with me at any time. Now, I said earlier that I'm trying to be fair when randomizing the colors. There has been times where I had to re-randomize the colors because they were too similar to previous months. But here I just couldn't use white because it's a default color for the challenge. And there we go, Donut Homer. Oh, he's enjoying himself. Alright, gotta pick up the pens out of the way, and then we'll go ahead and take a look at what the third prompt's going to be. Gonna turn that off, or else we're gonna have a big glare. We're not gonna see all. Wheel of Morality, turn, turn, turn. Tell us a lesson that we shall learn. Cousin Daisy drinking milk. Now, why does it specify Cousin Daisy? You'll see soon enough. Oh, she's right there. Perfect. Oh, I'm going somewhere with this. I'm going somewhere with this. Now I know milk is opaque. Just imagine it's 1%. I'll at least not color it. I don't think I'll be making her spots black because she's spotted like a cow. She's got pink pants, like a cow's udder. So she's basically cow themed. But I also know that usually Katamari Damacy characters are like really small. So I feel this is a good compromise. I am struggling with my line art right now. And again, you guys were warned about this. I am doing my best, but I'm starting to struggle to see. probably noticing I'm drawing the feet smaller than I originally did. That's because they are smaller in the reference. No, I'm gonna let her dry. I did not forget to ink her spots. I just don't want to ink her spots. I want to do her spots like as a color, you know? So we'll leave her dry. And we'll get to the final prompt for today. Wheel of Morality, turn, turn, turn. Tell us a lesson that we shall learn. And the final prompt was simply Care Bear. Now here's the thing, there's like, I don't know, 60 Care Bears now? So I made an executive decision. And we will be doing Care Bear. I did a minimum research. There's not exactly a first Care Bear, as the Care Bears were more of a concept, but it's pretty accepted. I just want to double check his name. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's pretty well accepted within the fandom that the first Care Bear, quote unquote, is Tenderheart. So even if we have green and yellow, we are going to be drawing Tenderheart for this one. You know what I recently learned? Learned this week. There is concept art of a character called Koala. Just Koala. Because he did not go far past the concept. He didn't make it past the cutting room floor. Like, he didn't even have a tummy symbol. But there were plans of making a koala Care Bear cousin. I have seen the prototype. He was going to be super cute too. But instead of getting a drop bear, we got panda bears. Polite and perfect. I got nothing against Polite and Perfect, honestly, I like them. If I remember well from the original series, they decided to go back to China instead of living in care a lot because they were missing their friends too much. And the fact that they weren't home was making their home miserable because they were the guardians of their valley. Of course, I could have made any green Care Bears. There are green Care Bears. Good Luck Bear comes to mind right away. And it would have been a little too easy, wouldn't it? What's your favorite Care Bear? Mine is, and always will be, Funshine. Depending on which continuity you follow, because of course they are different versions of Care Bear. Funshine is either male or female. But when I had a Care Bear when I was a kid, it was Funshine. And my twin brother got grumpy. See about shrinking that hinge just a tad. There, that's better. Like I keep telling you guys, I don't see well right now. Like, they say that there's no real first Care Bear, but you gotta start with one. You gotta draw like one concept before moving on to different concept. And like they were like, just like the ponies originally, there was like the first 6 Care Bears and stuff like that. But you had to design one before you started the variations. And it seems to me the one that makes more sense would be Tenderheart, because he has the simplest symbols and he's brown. That's like the go-to color for a teddy bear. And I'll be honest, I really like the original Hallmark design of the Care Bears because they look so soft. It was a period of time, like before the modern iteration, around the time where they had the baby show for the Care Bear, like not quite the modern iteration, but like the version right before, where they were making designs of the Care Bears kind of vintage, but they colored it with these really sharp, like claw slash fang like shading. Like they still had the really sweet designs and faces. But the colors were very saturated, and the way they decided to shade to make it look like fur was really sharp and zigzaggy. I did not care for that too much. It felt like they were missing the point, you know? Go up there and dry. Like, I am not the resource on design. Like, I can't design clothes for my characters to save my life, but to have a really soft design with such sharp use of color, like the current designs, super cute, super soft, no texture, but you know what? That's okay. Because through the roundness of the current designs, they still give off soft, you know? Not furry soft, but like Squishmallow soft. It's still soft. But that period in the 2010s, with the really sharp way of coloring, that was, yeah. Use any silver for Homer. I'm gonna use some here. It's gonna be some very silver milk. Because you know what? I do what I want. Plus in the right lighting, it looks perfectly white, as you guys can see. Or not see. Oh, I'm gonna get yelled at for that one. You know what? I do what I want. Even if I'm making a mistake, I have to commit to that mistake. And that's only valid in art, okay? Not in relationships. I don't want to see people stay in relationships with somebody they're miserable with. We literally just had a whole comic series about that on Bootleg Cookie. Just gonna get them. There we go. And then I will sign and we will be done with Cousin Daisy. Got a fill in her nose. There. Shiny. Oops, I almost forgot to get the extra pencil off of Tender Heart. It wouldn't have done much, but at the same time, it would have done enough, you know? One of the many reasons I don't like rubbing with a malleable eraser is that sometimes you get a little bit stuck under your nails. I hate that. Ew. I think I'm gonna do his tummy symbol with the silver, just so it pops out. Like, it's not gonna be weird already to see a green Tender Heart. Like, on top of that, right now they're trying to rebrand. What's her name there? There's a cat cousin that we know to be orange, and in a lot of promotional material they decided to rebrand her as teal. But like, we already have a ton of blue Care Bears and Care Bear cousins. Like, we have Loyal Heart, that's the dog. We have Swift Heart, that's the rabbit. And for the record, as far as I know, in every versions of Care Bears, Swift Heart is female. Okay, the rabbit is female. And we have Grumpy Bear, of course. We have Goodnight Bear. We have Tugs. Not to be confused with Hugs, because Hugs is pink. We have the sheep. The sheep is light teal, still blue, not that green. Who else do we got that's outright orange? We have the monkey, who's more yellow than orange. And we have Braveheart the lion. That's it. I don't want to use my Kokoro because my Kokoro doesn't like layering. And it will mess up the nib. There we go. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's nice. Just gonna add a bit more for shading. And we are done with a very green and shiny Tenderheart bear. So let's try to back up the camera a bit so we can have them all in frame. So in order, ouch, sorry, I hooked my my heat gun. In order, we got Stanley, we got Donut Homer, we got Cousin Daisy from Katamari Damacy, and we have, despite appearances, Tenderheart Bear, which me and the fandom would consider the first Care Bear. Honestly, pretty happy with how they came out today. Not bad for someone who struggles with actually seeing anything. But not bad at all. So I'm going to go ahead and prep these for the shop, which means for you guys, it is now time for the bookend, in which we give extra special caramel drizzle, rainbow sprinkle, chocolate syrup, thanks to all our supporters: Amber B, Pelcamus, Enovis, Sir E, Other, Bad at Multiplayer, Matthew H, Blas 6, Laura S, Corpsey, Artsy, Tanook, and Jeff B. And of course, our part-time supporters, Super Dudet, 808, and Rocket Mouse. Your continued support is immensely appreciated. Next live stream is going to be tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. That's my time, not your time. Maybe your time, I don't know you, I don't know your life. And we'll be drawing, of course, Bootleg Cookie. Hope you guys had fun with your drawing this. I had a lot of fun drawing. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I love you all. And bye-bye.